putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, fellow patriots. You're listening to the Kevin Jackson Show on KJRadio.com. Oh my goodness, this is our last segment together. I'm Liz Matory. I was guest hosting today for Kevin. And again, it has been so amazing and awesome to connect with you today. Hey, if you enjoyed what you heard, if you think I should do it again, please let Kevin know. If I messed up or is there certain things that you wish that I had covered or whatever, please let Kevin know. He can definitely get contact with me. Again, if you want more folks like me to become like me, like if there are people out there in your life that are very curious, if they are looking for like possibilities, new options, a new path, that they've gotten really frustrated with where they are, especially as a Democrat, as a registered Democrat. We tend to be afraid of the Republican Party, and we tend to be afraid of conservatives because of what has been stated about us. Because most people know that we are being defined, all the more reason you and I, and definitely Kevin's been doing this for a while, we need to be a lot more vocal about why someone like us are conservative. I know for a fact, for my own experience, another major difference between the different options is, we tend to be a group of individuals, whereas the left, their own sole purpose is to move the masses and very much agenda driven. Our number one goal is to conserve this republic. By the grace of God, we do believe in the power and might, and we know and we absolutely believe that, especially in this country, as American citizens, whether it's by birthright or by legal means, we are able to, here in this country, in this amazing constitutional republic, the United States of America, you can tap into your God-given potential and thrive. That's it. When I figured out, or people helped me learn what conservatism is and what the Republican Party actually did stand for, instead of all of the misinformation that I was told. I mean, again, talk about, they want to use the word fake news. How about, again, the fake philosophy that the left has created around the rest of us? And we all know that we're good people. So why don't we speak up for why we are conservatives? I think I've heard, several different reasons why someone has made the switch, or maybe they are, lifelong conservatives. But again, because we are the minority party, Governor Ehrlich, I wanted to share this information with you before I departed from you today. Governor Ehrlich was our former governor here in Maryland, and he spoke with our Central Committee last month here in Montgomery, and he said, the Republican Party has always been the anti-establishment party. We were formed to answer the establishment. The establishment were the Democrats. The Democrats, especially here in Maryland, they are the oldest established organized party in the country. So when we feel like we are going up against, Goliath, we are. And a lot of folks, especially on Facebook, have reached out to me and with words and beautiful words of solidarity and prayer. And they've always, referred back to Christian times. Biblical times. We as, God's children have always been challenged by, the people who kind of forget where their power came from. The people who have acquired some sort of power that they think that there's no consequence to their holding of said power. And, a lot of people believe certain things about our president in this time and all that. But, we all have to realize, what side are we on? We can do better for each other, by each other. We do have to be more mindful. We have to definitely be more spiritual. We definitely have to be more prayerful. Again, like one of my friends said, you cannot, legislate morality. You have to literally, there's government and laws are not the only things that society are there for. There's society, there's the individual, there's the family, there's community, there's neighborhood, there's town. There's all these layers of relatedness that I think, I don't know when it started, but I now know that that's what happens when you kind of deteriorate units. Going back to the family and how important family is and how important my family and upbringing and parents are. It's easier for you to navigate through life when you have a good foundation. You know that. So as a country, as country people, as citizens, we have to be well grounded in our foundation, and our foundation is the Constitution. And yes, the Constitution was, and including the Declaration of Independence, you cannot forget God's connection to that. You have to have one and the other. A lot of people, I think, when you find the chaos and confusion and you find it overwhelming you, it's because you've lost your focus. And I would argue that all the things that are happening in the dissent and the confusion and the anger and the negativity, again, lastly, with Christopher, before he passed away, I saw him around like 10:30, 11, and then he OD'd by like 1:30. He took a hit between the time I saw him and the time that he passed away, but he was talking about how there was this evil spirit that he was always feeling that was surrounding him. And we tend to focus on positivity, and we focus on God, and we definitely know that, humans and, beings and people are, and animals are all around us. But we always forget that there's also evil, and evil's powerful. And without the armor that you need in order to, again, protect yourself from influence, harm, whatever that negative energy is trying to do, we really have to be a lot more vigilant. Again, this is not the time to be quiet. This is not the time to hide our conservative principles. This is not the time to, be afraid that, we are conservatives and that we believe in God and that, that is not a bad thing. If anything, the people who are questioning your faith, those are the ones you got to be careful of. You know what I mean? Think about it. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious. And that's the thing that's so crazy about, my 2-3 year experience of being a new conservative and a born again Republican. The moment that I figured out what all this was, I'm like, wow, that's really simple. So you're basically just telling me that conservatism is just our founding principles. They're just American principles, nothing too fancy, nothing too over the top, and all this other things that, I have learned. And again, I appreciate individual, sort of what you want to achieve as an individual, as long as you don't harm anyone. Yes, I understand that. But when you have a full-on agenda in order to divide and conquer and confuse and manipulate and, basically take people, might away from them so that you can preserve your power and your control over the masses, we have to stop them. Even if we need to pray for these people, we literally have to say, God bless you. That honestly is One of the most powerful sort of deterrents of evil is simply saying, God bless you, and I'm praying for you. And in that power and in that might, we're going to win this war. I believe it, and I know that, with people like Kevin on our side, and all of you listeners out there, know that this is a winnable war and we are on the same side of right. So again, thank you so much for connecting and listening and being a part of this movement and this mission, and I'll see you next time.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.